Hey, everybody. I am so excited to be here today. I'm excited to talk about the 13-year star that if you've listened to the 2024 forecast, you know about. If not, you may have forgotten. That's fine. But if you're sensitive to what's going on online from an astrology perspective, you've been hearing about it, right? It's a big deal. It's every 13 years, right? But the biggest deal is it's Jupiter, and so that's an expansion, that's good fortune, that's success, that's blessings, that's positivity. That's in some way that's going to lift you up, right? Yay. Blending or being conjunct, kissing, however you want to say that, Uranus, the lightning bolt, the unexpected surprise, the shifting, the changing, the sign that basically wants you to break free and break forth. So this is a really good time for you to be able to break into something new that you have wanted. So that's why when I did the weekly forecast, I talked about like, can you step into success this week? This is a beautiful week to be thinking about ways that you want to be open to things that are going to happen. So with Uranus, this isn't like I have to go figure this out and I have to go do it and I have to go like strive and roll up my sleeves. No, Uranus is like, hey, surprise, I am going to just like basically do something for you that you've been wanting, even though you don't know if you want it. So what that means is that it is something that your soul could be yearning for. You've been thinking about things, or you've been ruminating about them, or you've been wishing for them, and all of a sudden Uranus goes, "Hey," and yeah, you're gonna get it now, right? So it can feel a little whiplash like or whatever, but this is why we talk about it. This is why we literally introduce it so that you can understand and appreciate the openness that you're going to want to be having because this is a big deal. Yay. So the last time that this Jupiter, think of good fortune, think of your good luck charm, right? In the sky, blended with Uranus, the lightning bolt of change, shock and awe man, they conjoined was in January of 2011. So again, 13 years. It's been a while. Back in January of 2011, they were both in the sign of Pisces. So that matters. Like it matters like what each one of these planets, what their energy is, because that's what it can bring forth. But it also matters what sign they're in. It matters what flavor they have. It matters what they're bringing into the world, because both of these planets are for the world at large. Of course, we have a personal relationship with them, but these are like big deal. This isn't like when Mercury comes and like kind of slaps you around and flicks you like he's doing right now because he's retrograde. This is like, yeah, but it's not just you, it's the world at large. So at the top of 2011, when it was in Pisces, it was about like artistic things and creativity. It was about spirituality. It was about compassion. It was about understanding and appreciating love and unity in a different way. Doesn't mean we did anything with it, right? It just means that that was what it was introducing. It was the possibility of. So we can look at that and we can say, okay, so that was like the initiation. Anytime the planets come together, there's like an initiation, there's an awakening, no matter which planet that is, no matter what sign it has. So that was like this initiating energy of, wow, when we came to the full circuit of it coming to another initiation, which is going to be on Sunday, April 21st at 2:27 a.m. Eastern time. If you're in a different time zone, people could be talking about April 20th. That's why, because it's just over that midnight time. So it's same, same. So it's over the weekend, right? So this weekend, we are anticipating a big initiation or an awakening in energy. I'm going back to that 2011 so we can kind of get some appreciation. We can kind of figure out like, ooh, wait, how did that feel? Like what did that mean? Did we do anything with it? Did it mean anything for me? I don't know. Remember January 2011? Okay, I was able to take a little court run down memory lane really quickly, and I realized literally it was within a week of this, I sent out my first blog email that I've ever done in my life. It's ridiculous. Literally, I've sent it to maybe 50 people that I knew. It was a little article in a like a, basically an email. It lived nowhere. I was shaking in my boots. I was like, "Ugh." It was about joy. I kind of randomly remember a little bit about it. What I can remember was standing up from my table. It wasn't even a desk then; it was a table, and kind of muttering to myself, walking around the dining room, like, "Oh my god! Oh 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 my god!" But literally freaking myself out. I remember I had an acupuncture appointment later that day, and I remember freaking out at the acupuncture appointment. He was like, "You need to calm down." Right? So, but think about it. Think about when I come to this 13-year cycle, I can say, like, well, holy crap, since then I've written, I don't know, tons of books and all the things, right? So for me, it was an initiation for that spiritual expression in the world in a way I didn't understand and I didn't know. And now when I look at this initiation on the weekend, I'm wondering, I'm like, what's the next layer of it? Because now it's going to be in the sign of Taurus. It's at 21 degrees. Taurus has a whole different energy than Pisces. So Pisces, I just said, artistic, compassionate, unification, spiritual, intuitive, healing in some way. The higher expression, it's Jupiter. I'm going to be focused on the higher expression. Since then, Jupiter has gone around the zodiac a few times, right? Like, so 12 years. So it's about once. Okay. So it's almost at a little bit more than the full completion. So Uranus, though, three signs. Uranus moves really slowly. It's like 7 years in a sign. It was in the middle of the sign of Pisces. Then it went all the way through Aries, and now it's in Taurus, right? So much slower, much different rhythm and a cadence. So when we look at that, 2011, there was this beautiful, it was at the end of actually, it was at the end of the sign. It was at 27 degrees then. And it was like this, ooh, how is Uranus going to then amp up in your life? How is it going to amp up that Pisces energy, right? How is it going to make it bigger? That's Jupiter. And then in the meantime, what have we gone through in the middle of that? Well, we had to go through Aries. We had to be really brave. We had to be really courageous. We had to really awaken something in ourselves just to be like, how do we want to lead in the world? Who do we want to be in the world? Big stuff, right? Now we've been going through, I'm just going to look at the exact timing. So 2018 was when Uranus entered where my Taurus, and was able to then, we've had that expression of Taurus for a while now. That's where we want to create lasting change. We want to be pursuing things that make sense from a position perspective. We want to be able to gain more comfort in things. We want to be seen in the world as I always call it the of course, like, well, of course I do this. This is something I'm so comfortable with. I understand it. I've gotten really familiar with it. I appreciate and comprehend my relationship to the earth, to the senses, to what it feels like to be embodied, to what money means to me from a very normal kind of like day-to-day expression, how I like to interact with people when I'm at work. Like, those are all Taurus things. So Uranus was there and had his own initiation, like, back in 2018. So there may have been some impression there of this energy. And then now comes Jupiter at the degree of 2021. Table the number for a minute, because I'm still in the energy of Jupiter and Uranus meeting in Taurus. So what this means is that all of a sudden there's like this big, huge next 13 years where in 2037, they're going to meet again in Cancer, right? So interesting, right? Like, I wonder what that means. We're going to be going through some things around how we think, because it's going to be all about Gemini. We're going to go through things about how we interact from a family perspective, from a roots perspective, from an ancestry perspective, because that's Cancer. But for right now, we're initiating the cycle. So what did we complete that we started off in 2011? How are we brave about pursuing that? And how do we make it now so incredibly familiar to us that it just is? That's Taurus. It's like, I got this. I'm so good at this, right? So I just use that example, which I kind of low-key forgot about like, okay, now I'll do writing. I actually just start writing all the time. Like, it just happens. I sit here and do lives and I do these things, right? Like, I launched a whole business around being a spiritual leader. In 2011, if you talked to me about what I was going to be doing, I would have told you were cuckoo pants. There's no way I was running a very successful business strategy firm. There is absolutely no way I ever would have thought I was going to be like this with that firm, and I was going to be doing something completely differently, and I was going to be doing all the things that I do right now. This and otherwise, no. I would have said, nope, nope. I would have said, nope. Right now, I think about this and I'm like, oh, what do the next 13 years bring? I don't know. This has become really familiar. This has become really comfortable. I'm going to be really mindful as to what comes up this week and next week. I'm going to be really mindful because the energy's new. So if there's a new opportunity, if there's a new person I'm being, introduced to, if there's a new way of thinking about something, if there's just, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. That's the best way to be. I'm not sure. I'm going to be observant and I'm not going to say no right now. That would be a really good way to be understanding and be accepting of the energies that are here right now. Remember, Mercury's still retrograde, so it might be something that you've visited before, or it might be something that like you're like, yeah, that I met that person, but we really didn't connect. Or I was thinking about one of my clients is launching a podcast. So she's like, I've been thinking about it. You talked about this back in November of this being the date. I've been thinking about doing it a long time. I'm going to be doing this launch. And I'm like, amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Right. There are other energies this year that if you were following my forecast, you would know that the beginning of June is a really good time. The last week of June is a really good time. There's really good opportunity the third week in May. I mean, there's really good energies coming up over the next handful of weeks. So you're not missing out. It's not something where you're like, you have a window this big. And if you don't catch it, you're kind of like, oh no, you're kind of lost. It's not that at all. It's really a beautiful time to be open to opportunity. So how can you say yes to opportunity? Well, understanding the energies a little bit more, right? So I'm going to go into that 21 right now. 21 in numerology is 2 plus 1 equals 3. 21 in itself is about a universal number when you think of the tarot. So it's literally like universal support. Amazing. And it's about creating because the 3 is like the wholeness of you. It's like the masculine is 1, the feminine is 2, and 3 is like we're all together. It's the Empress sign in tarot. It's a very creative card. It's a very loving card. It's such a feel-good vibe. If you think of the number 3 in like religion, it usually means something where you've got, the 3 days of a lunar cycle. I'm going to the seasons now. Like 3s are very meaningful. If you adore Christianity, it's all about Jesus, right? Like I think there's a Buddha representation for 3. So this is like a really beautiful like a moment where we've got that 3 energy, we've got that universal support energy. So if nothing else, just be thinking about how you can say yes to the universe and all its power. That's amazing. I am going to show the chart. Just got to. So I'm going to show the chart. Now, these are my like chicken scratch like notes that I wrote this summer because that's what I do. I open up all the energy over the summer. So this is what am I looking at? I'm looking at we still have the energy from Aries that I was talking about last week with the eclipse. The sun will have gone into Taurus, brand new. It's only going to be 1 degree. That's going to be on Saturday, Friday. I can't remember. It's somewhere in the next handful of days. We've got this spine right here that's an opposition, right? And that's a very like beautiful Neptunian, gorgeous spiritual element to it. We've got this beautiful solar, there's the moon up there, right? Like the solar, like waxing gibbous of like us in this, it's usually like the expression of lovers. It's the expression of partnership. It's the expression of coming together. That's a beautiful energy. We also have this gorgeous energy with Pluto and the moon. So think about Pluto, right? Pluto is like, I'm brand new. I am uncovering treasure about myself. I'm looking to love myself. And the moon is right there. And Libra saying, yes, like this beautiful, harmonious energy. But then we have Pluto and the sun wrangling a little bit. They're like, yeah, that's fine that you're uncovering this stuff, but the sun then comes out as I'm going to shine the light on it, and you might feel a little exposed about it. You might feel vulnerable. You might feel a little bit of like doubt, and you might feel like I'm just not comfortable. That's okay because we still have that healing energy of Aries. This is still a very healing time. So Uranus is not always Mr. Kind, happy, fun guy. Uranus most often will bring you something you're not quite ready for. That's where I'm saying be open to the yes, be open to the possibility. Think about my story. I use the story to give that practical application of it. I was scared witless to do basically nothing. I mean, honestly, like you really think about it, like I really did nothing. I sent an email, right? Like, but for me, it was like, holy crap. Like I ended up starting a blog from that. I ended up writing books from that. I ended up doing like all these illustration in those books. Like there's so many ways that I found my voice that I didn't even know was lost. So that's what I want you to be thinking about. That's where Pluto comes in. Like it might be something you didn't even know you were missing. And then honestly, it's not gonna, you're not going to know this. You're not going to know the answer in a week and a half. This is going to be something you're going to look back a year from now or 2 years from now, and you're going to be like, that's why that happened. I'm so glad Kim told me to pay attention because I wouldn't have made the association and I wouldn't have realized this was a big deal. So if you journal, I would say journal this week. If however you remember things, remember this week because you're going to get information that you might not know what to do with for a while. I love that kind of information. I am always like, I wonder who this is for. I wonder if it's for me. It might be for my future self. How amazing is that? Because this is an opening of potential. Like literally what I wrote from a potential perspective, I wrote, can you set aside your fears once and for all? What? Like, wow. This is why in Rich and Powerful Leaders Academy, we did the fear of success because I wanted all that groovy goodness to come up. Because with the healing from the eclipse and with this energy right now, yes to the yes, to the yes, to the yes, to the yes, all day long. Okay, is there anything else I want to look? I also talk about creating lasting change, and I talked about a powerful surge in potential. And I did say that this was like a brand new day. It was like opening another gateway, opening another portal. So I was talking with a client. It was only yesterday. And we were talking about how we feel like we've opened up new energy and it feels like an envelope just opened. And I'm like, yay, that's so beautiful. That's so good. Okay. I'm going to say that the card I pulled was the power card. And when you listen to this talk, you can be like, yeah. But when I pulled it, I was like, what am I going to talk about? Yeah. So the power card also, oh, damn, I love the universe. It's also a 3 because it's 30, right? As I hit myself in the glasses. And it talks about embodying your power, which I love, but it talks about radiating it from the core. So if you've been following me, you know sometimes I'll say like, wear your value. I'll talk about really standing like as a beacon. I'll be saying I use the word unwavering a lot. I use the word core a lot. I use the word fortification and gathering and really galvanizing. I think galvanizing a little bit more new word, like harnessing yourself, right? That's what this is going to be able to do. Taurus is terra firma. Taurus is like stable and really structural. You are going to be creating, now I just figured something out for myself. You are going to be creating structure for yourself that's going to help you for the next 13 years. Yay, that's amazing. That's amazing. So I'm being led to give you another example. So, and I'm just going to use myself because I apparently that's what I'm going to do right now. So my theme for the year is ease. And I just met with one of my admins and I said to her, yeah, I'm kind of low key lying about that because things have not been filled with ease this year. So what I did, I was taking a shower this morning. I was like, ease. I was like, yeah, well, how can I make that more true? So I realized it was like kind of a 3-part series, right? So yeah. So I'm editing this year, refining it to say it's ease, but it's with systems. So I'm laying in a lot of systems, a lot of structures. I think next year, I don't know if I'll quite get to the ease, but if not, I'll be ease with support. And then maybe the third year, I'll be like, okay, ease, I'm trying to get it. It's a soul destiny thing for me. This is not an easy thing. Huh, it's not an easy thing for me. So I'm going to take it in steps. Perfect. I remember back probably around the last time. Oh, I love this. Literally the last time. Now I'm going back to 2011. It was 2009, 2010, 2011. The theme for my year was intimacy. And it took me, I in 3 rounds, not just 2 rounds with Bobby Flay. It's 3 rounds. So allow yourself to be kind to yourself, that this might be something that isn't just like super easy. It's Jupiter and Uranus. It's going to be a big deal. Allow yourself to be like, you know what? I had the intention of this. For me, it was ease. Yep. You know what? I'm going to do it in a 3-part process. I'm going to be kind to myself that way. I'm going to allow myself to be able to be fully in the potential of what it can be. And I'm going to do it in steps. Perfect. This is about radiating from the core. This is about wearing something to be unwavering. This might be something that it's absolutely going to be something that is not familiar in a way, right? So I know I said sometimes it could be like it came up before, but it could be like, yeah, I just need to, hence kaleidoscope, I just need to change my perspective a little bit. I just need to do a little bit of a pivot. I might be able to do that myself, or I might rely on the planets to help me continue to open this. Yep, I would set that intention, allow the planets to continue to open this with you. So I've got something I very rarely do. I am going to be talking about the zodiac signs. I very rarely do this. I very rarely do this because, number one, you can get it everywhere now. Like literally, I know that I was talking to somebody and they were asking me what periodicals were talking about astrology, and I was like, all of them. I know People does. I know the New York Times does. I know Vogue does. I mean, literally you can get horoscopes and you can get zodiac signs all over the place, which is why I tend not to do it, because that's very much about fate. And it's about your choice and your free will that creates your destiny. So I negotiated with myself. I said, okay, I'm going to do the zodiac signs because I was feeling that people wanted that. But I'm also going to do the intuitive success signatures because that's where your free will comes in. So I'm going to do both. And for that, I do need to refer to notes. So I'm looking away a little bit. It's because I did the hand scratching on the back of this to be able to go into the energies. So for Aries, all you Arians out there, it's a great time, to step in to be a power couple. If you're single, step into your own power. So that's not that diverse from what I was talking about, but Aries is an initiating sign. That's why that's not that different. For Taurus, it's about taking bold action, envision and take the steps. For Geminis, it's about architecting a new way based on the creativity that you always have. So you have the information, you're just going to put it together and design it in a little bit different way. For Cancer, it's going to be good news about work, which that feels really awesome. For Leos, it's all about partnership. All about, it could be business partnership, friendship, love partnership. It's all about that. For Virgos, it's going to be a beloved connection. It's about intimate, deep bonding. For Libras, it's about self-love, and it's about being brave, about being selfish. For Scorpios, you get a whole world view and potentially an international opportunity. For Sagittarius, there is a big stage opportunity for you, so be mindful of that. For Capricorns, there's a spiritual insight that you're going to have. There's like a hidden treasure you're going to find. For Aquarians, you want to step into your leadership power. And then for Pisces, you want to be brave about your investments into you, into your skills and into your connections. So you're going to be going out of your comfort zone a little bit to say yes to yourself to build a skill, or to say yes to yourself about making a connection. Those are the zodiac signs. Now I'm going to go into the intuitive success signatures. Now, if you're in rich and powerful leaders, you know that I do things with the sun signs and I combine them with the intuitive success signatures. So you have the piece that's just for you, which is perfect. And I invite you to do that right here with the 13-year star. So whatever your sun sign is, that's what you're going to have taken, right? Like, gee, I'm a Scorpio, which I'm not, but like say I were, and I'm an intuitive visionary, because I know there's someone watching here that's going to do that. So you're going to take that scorpionic energy and you're going to then say, when I get to the intuitive visionary, you're going to be like, you're going to combine the two of them. Okay. So that's what you want to do. And again, I do this in Rich and Powerful Leaders Academy every single month. And everybody's always like, wow. Okay. So sharing new, here I am out here doing stuff about this, right? So for wise strategists, you're going to want to live your vision. You have a vision, but you don't quite open yourself to adopt to that. So all of these are mantras. I am my vision is what you want to say if you're a wise strategist. For that intuitive visionary, you want to reclaim your power, find the wealth of you. So literally your mantra is, I am a powerhouse. Attach that to your zodiac sign, your sun sign, and then you'll find the flavor of that. For the collaborative explorer, it's open your heart and mind to self-care. Sometimes your mind will be open, sometimes your heart's open. You're going to want to link those two. And your mantra is, I put myself first. Ruling warrior, you're going to hit the refresh button on something you truly desire. You want fresh energy. It's gotten stale in some way, so you definitely want to do that. You're never going to do a mantra. I'm not even going to tell you one. Okay, so creative superstar, you want to get courageous about money. So that was really interesting when that came in. So your mantra is, I love money and money loves me. And then for that loving alchemist, this was interesting too. It was tailor your voice. So I've been pressing you all through 2024. Now we're on month 4, right? I've been pressing you to create your own stage, excuse me, to like speak your voice a little bit differently. I don't know if I know I used create your own stage wording. I don't know if I use what I talked about with the voice, but this came in, tailor your voice. So your mantra is, I speak. Like, I speak. Just let that, and this is probably why I told a story about with the blog post. Like, I didn't know what my voice was like. I didn't know how I wanted to write. I didn't know how I wanted to deliver it. I didn't know how what the tenor, the tone, the frequency, all the things. I love Kelly Schneider's on here now because she talks about story, and I bet she can help with voice, right? So like honestly, and I really like that Taylor piece, right? So that's awesome. So this is everything I wanted to talk about for this 13-year star. I do just want to take a moment and just really gather our energy. I'm not going to do a full ritual, but I just want to kind of gather our energy. If we think about our sun sign and we think about what I said, and you just can kind of like run that through your chakra system, right? So like whatever I said about, the fire signs or the water signs or whatever sign, just allow that energy to just come in through your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, down through your root, and go into the earth and really plant that energy. About being bold and brave, about your family, like whatever it was, just let that energy be really super solidifying for you. Let it be really grounding. And then honestly allow yourself to wrap the energy of your intuitive success signature. Let that be the rippling. Oh, here's where I'm going. Radiating your power, right? So let that mantra come out. Let that energy come out. Let that tip come out about your intuitive success signature so that you're from that core energy, which gives you such strength and such stability, it is able to then roll out and be able to radiate out into the world to make impact. And this was the energy of that, right? So if you take those mantras and you really open up this energy and you allow yourself to be, open-minded and flexible about what's coming forth, watch your potential really, it's going to get a huge uptick, and then it's going to be like literally like rippling out into the world. So that's super, super exciting. For those of you who haven't taken the quiz, which I can't believe you're still watching this video if you haven't, but if you haven't, I'm going to leave the link in the comments. For those of you who are not in Rich and Powerful Leaders and want to be, I'll also leave the link in that comments too, because I'm getting a lot of interest. And so I want to make sure I'm making that available to people. It's evergreen, come in, it's delicious. I do. For those of you who are interested, I have got a little mini poll I'm going to do. I'm going to show you some eye candy, huge eye candy. So there is my email list was destroyed. Yeah. And so we've been putting a new system in. So this is the first message that's gone out. You've gotten messages like just talking about like really light things just to like get the email list to work. But this is a new newsletter. It's a few weeks late. It's fine. There's going to be a quote in the newsletter. It's going to be the April forecast. It looks amazing. Stay tuned for your inbox. There's going to be celebration and stories. There's going to be my podcast highlight to a podcast. Yes, if I could actually use technology, I would have shared the screen. No, not doing that. Okay. There's Where's Kim? So I'm doing 3 lives and whatnot this month. And then I'm getting to the good stuff though. There is a story. I'm going to do another highlight of a business issue with the solution. And then wait for it, wait for it. Every single month is going to be a free gift. It's called Magical Play. There's going to be a free gift. This month, it's a rainbow power meditation. Now, honestly, I did this sometime in March. We were having issues, as only Mercury retrograde could do, right? So we've had a little bit of a delay. It's fine. Things are going out this week. April forecast, yeah, whatever, right? It's like I was like, it's fine. This was like, I haven't thought about the rainbow power in a really long time. I just did a meditation with people this morning about it, right? And now I'm realizing rainbow citrine is the literally the stone. I forgot to mention the rainbow citrine, right? Amazing, like worlds within worlds. Talk about a new opening, right? Because yeah, that's happening. But the rainbow is so luscious and so beautiful that there's a rainbow meditation. I am going to be giving a gift every month in this newsletter. So if you're on my email list, you're going to get the newsletter. So yay. So just stay, it's going to be at the beginning of the month usually, but this month, a little bit late. But I'm going to be doing things like that. So I would love to hear from you, right? Like about things that you'd like to see, what would be really yummy for you, because this is interactive, right? Like I want to take your input to be like, yeah, adore that. You know what? I've gotten 3 rituals now. Let's do something different. Yes. So if newsletter is interesting to you, I want you to leave a 1 in the comments. I'll make sure that you are on the list and that you get the things, and I am actually getting your feedback. If you are really interested in live events, I have got a 3-day. I have not done a 3-day for a year. I've heard from a lot of you, you want me to do 3 days. The first week of June, I'm doing a 3-day. That we're going to start doing marketing about that. The next newsletter will have that highlighted, but I'll be talking about it, on social media. I'll be making invitations and whatever. It's free. It's amazing. We're doing things about what? Money. Yes, because hello, we're obviously going to do that. The third thing, so if you're interested in that, put a 2. The third thing is that I am doing a never before and never again offer. So and I'm only doing this with people that are really close in the world or that have been clients at some point. So I'm going to be doing personal invitations to it. I'm just going to be giving you a heads up of what it is. But this is something that we're thinking about maybe making as part of something else, maybe. So I just want to get your feedback. It's only a few $100. It's a special star peak with me. Like it's all awesome sauce. That's number 3 if you're interested in that. And if you want all of the above, just put a star in there. And I'll make sure that you are kept in the loop on all of these things. Because here's the thing, we're trying to keep things really clean, and yet it's really noisy out there, right? So we're again, we had to clean up our email list, so you're going to be on getting 1 email a week, right? Like I'm trying to keep things like really clear about where I am and doing what in those things, right? In those places while I'm doing that. And I'm also wanting to have more interaction. I want to be able to get feedback about love this, not so much, love that, whatever it is, because I am doing a lot of things. And whether I'm on a podcast or on a live, you guys, same. I'm doing it anyway. Whether I'm sharing the stars with you or not, I'm doing it anyway. I'm just doing it, right? So why don't we make the most of this and be able to determine whether we're leaning more into the stars, we're leaning more into the strategy, we're leaning more into the signatures. My goal is to do all of them all the time. So that's my goal. That's just the way I do things. But yeah, I am super excited. I'm starting to get really ungrounded. I can tell. I'm super excited. I am adoring the Jupiter. I'm adoring the Uranus energy. I adore you. And so I'm going to bid adieu before I spin off into the ether. But again, you're going to want to be doing that. If those of you from 2021 remember that, that's the pull to help you be really grounded, because we are creating new worlds. And that's no joke. So